Well, good evening, and welcome to St. James Family Worship, the perfect place for people who aren't. I thank God that you've taken the time to be a part of this devotional review tonight. Again, we are reviewing the Open Door devotional by Rick Warren, Endeavoring 365 Days. We have embarked upon day 131. 131. Tonight, we're talking about knowledge requires action. Knowledge requires action. Our key text tonight, James 4:17 says, "Remember, it is sin to know what you ought to do and then not to do it." Let me read that again. That is so powerful. James 4:17 says, "Remember, it is sin to know what you ought to do and then not do it." You know, sin comes with knowledge. If you don't believe me, ask Adam and Eve. Sin comes with knowledge. In the age of innocence, Adam and Eve had no sin. There was no sin. To them, there was no such thing as sin because they had no knowledge of sin. When they ate of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, their eyes came open. They had knowledge and they were under different guidelines, different rules, regulations then, because they had become basically walking dead. Because God said, the day you eat of this tree, you will surely die. You know, knowledge brings about with it sin, because once you know something, it's better not to know something than it is to know something, the word is saying, and then don't do something about that you know. Knowledge increases responsibility. When you have knowledge, your responsibility level goes up. You know, knowledge, action, our text says, our topic, knowledge requires action. When you know, knowledge increases responsibility. So you have to get about the action of doing something about what you know. What good is it to read the Bible, study the Bible, memorize the Bible, meditate on the Bible, go to church, participate in church, and never do nothing as far as helping people to be saved? You got the knowledge, but when you do nothing with the knowledge requires action. Action equals application. Action equals application. When we talk about growing and maturing in God, we always talk about reading the Bible, studying the Bible, meditating, memorizing, and then we say apply. You've got to apply the knowledge, apply what you've learned. You see, you can read every book in the world and get all the knowledge. You can get the knowledge of Einstein. But if you don't ever get up and do something with the knowledge you have, the Bible actually says, remember, it is sin to know what to do. Sin to know what you ought to do and then not do it. When you come into the knowledge of things, it's supposed to make you a better person. It moves you to another level. It also gives you more responsibility. Where much is given, and when you're dealing with knowledge, same principle. Where much is given, much or more is required. God requires more of you when you know more than the next person. So in our text, remember, it is sin to know what you ought to do and then not do it. Knowledge of the Bible increases your responsibility. I have to keep harping on that because the more you know, the more you're responsible to do. I hear somebody saying, well, I don't want to learn. A fool only wants to learn. A fool only wants not to learn. A wise person wants to learn, and a wise person wants to apply what they learn. That's what wisdom is. That's why you seek wisdom. Wisdom is the principal thing. But in all you're getting, the Bible says, get an understanding. Good evening, Uncle Robert. Get an understanding, because knowledge requires action. Get up, get started, and make sure as you learn things, do something with the knowledge that you have. That's like going to college for 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, getting a master's, 8 years, getting a doctorate, and then sit at the house and don't do nothing with it. You're responsible when you have knowledge. Some people have the knowledge to help others, but if you don't get up and do it, and you know to do it, you know to do good. You know, even when you know to do good and somebody has made you mad, you're still responsible to do good by that person. Love your enemies. Do right by them that do you wrong, the Bible says. So, one more time, knowledge increases your responsibility. Knowledge requires you to take action. Get up and take action. Faith without action is dead. God bless you and God keep you tonight is my prayer.